15 minutes. That is all it takes to produce a complete competitor analysis, with pricing data, sourced market intel, and a clear action section at the end. No paid subscriptions, no research firm, 2 free AI tools, and a Google Doc. 5 browser tabs open, a blog post here, a Reddit thread there, a competitor's website that buries its pricing. 90 minutes later, the research folder has 3 half-useful notes and no clear answer. That is not a focus problem. That is a workflow problem. According to a 2023 McKinsey report, knowledge workers spend an average of 19% of their work week searching for information or tracking down colleagues who have it. For solopreneurs doing everything themselves, that number compounds fast. By the end of this video, you will have a 2-tool research workflow you can run in 15 minutes or less on any business question. Competitor pricing, market shifts, customer pain points. Free tools only, no tab hopping required. Let's build it. Before we get into specific use cases, you need to understand why this is a 2-tool system and why using just one of them gets you about 60% of the result. Tool 1 is Perplexity. Perplexity is a free AI-powered search engine that pulls current sourced information from the web and synthesizes it in seconds. The critical word there is sourced. Every response includes clickable citations, which means you can verify what you're reading. The free tier is fully functional for this workflow. You do not need Perplexity Pro to execute what I'm showing you today. What Perplexity does well: fast competitive intel, pricing research, market trend summaries, news about an industry or a company. What it doesn't do as well: apply what it finds to your specific business situation. That is where the second tool comes in. Tool 2 is Claude. Claude is a free AI assistant. You access it at claude.ai. No credit card, no paid plan required for this workflow. Where Perplexity is built for search and retrieval, Claude is built for reasoning and synthesis. You paste in what Perplexity found, add context about your specific business, and ask Claude to make it actionable: recommendations, decisions, a structured document. Together, the loop looks like this. Ask Perplexity. Copy the output and add your context. Prompt Claude to synthesize. Perplexity finds, Claude thinks, you decide. That's the entire framework. Now, let's put it into practice across 3 real use cases. Use case 1, competitor pricing research. The old approach: manually visit 6 competitor websites, look for a pricing page that's either hidden or vague, maybe try to find pricing mentioned in a forum somewhere. An hour later, you have 3 data points and a headache. The new approach: Perplexity first. You'll ask Perplexity for the typical pricing tiers in your service category, in your specific market, with examples of companies and any free tiers or trial offers. You'll get a source summary in about 30 seconds. Now you take that output, copy the entire thing, and move to Claude. In Claude, you paste the Perplexity output, add a brief description of your own business and your current pricing, and ask Claude to do 3 things. Identify where you're positioned relative to competitors, flag any pricing gaps or opportunities, and give you 1 specific pricing adjustment to consider testing. Claude takes the raw data and applies it. The output isn't just, here's what competitors charge, it's a position recommendation with your specific business in context. Use case 2, market trend research. This used to mean buying an industry report for several $100s, or spending an afternoon trying to interpret data from government sources. Here's a faster path. You'll ask Perplexity for the top 3 trends affecting your industry this year, with data points, sources, and any shifts in customer behavior or spending, prioritizing recent reports. Once Perplexity returns results with citations, you hand it to Claude. In Claude, you paste the trend output, describe the customers your business serves, and ask Claude 1 focused question. Of these trends, Which one represents the highest opportunity for a business my size? And what is one concrete thing I could do in the next 30 days to position ahead of it? You are not asking Claude for generic advice. You are asking it to filter a market signal through your specific context and give you a time-bound action. That is the difference between research and strategy. Use case 3, customer pain point discovery. This one is underused, and it might be the most valuable. Before you write a sales page, launch a service, or update your offer, know exactly what language your target customers use to describe their problem. You'll ask Perplexity to find the most common complaints, frustrations, and unmet needs your target customers express about your service category, specifically looking at forums, review sites, Reddit threads, and customer feedback with citations. Perplexity will pull from Reddit, Trustpilot, G2, Quora, and forums your customers actually use. You're reading what real people wrote, not what a survey asked them to rate. Then in Claude, you paste those pain points, describe your offer, and ask Claude 2 things. Which of these pain points does my offer solve best? And write me 3 short positioning statements I could use on my website or in a sales conversation that speak directly to these frustrations. Most solopreneurs think AI research is about getting faster answers. It isn't. The real advantage is asking better questions and asking them consistently before every decision, not just occasionally. A business owner who runs this workflow before every major move will outthink competitors who still rely on gut instinct and stale blog posts. The quality of your research determines the quality of your strategy. And here's where I want to be direct with you. Perplexity cites sources, but citations are not guarantees. AI can surface outdated pricing, misread a study, or pull from a source that has since been updated. The workflow I'm showing you is designed to save time on the 80% of research that doesn't require primary source verification, not to replace the due diligence you do before a major financial or legal decision. Always click through to at least 2 or 3 source links when the stakes are high. Use this system to narrow your research and build your initial picture. Then verify what matters most before you act. Here's where a lot of people stop short. They get a great AI output, nod along, and then close the tab. The research vanishes. 2 weeks later, they can't remember what they found. There are 2 things you can do with every research session. Choose one based on what you need. Option A, turn it into a decision. If you ran this research to answer a specific question, should I change my pricing, or which trend should I focus on this quarter? End the session by asking Claude to structure the decision explicitly. The format is simple. The decision in 1 sentence, 2 evidence points, 1 risk to consider, and 1 suggested next action. Copy that output into a Google Doc. Date it. That's your decision log. 6 months from now, you'll thank yourself for having a record of why you made the call you made. Option B, turn it into a document. If the research is ongoing, something you'll revisit, share with a contractor, or build on over time, ask Claude to format it as a structured document. You'd ask it to take everything you covered in the conversation and produce a formatted competitor analysis with an executive summary, competitor profiles, market opportunities, and recommended actions, written for a business owner making strategic decisions over the next 90 days. Paste the output into a Google Doc. You now have the document from the opening of this video, formatted, sourced, ready to use. Here's the thread that connects all of this. Perplexity gives you the market's reality. Fast, sourced, current. Claude gives you strategic interpretation, applied to your specific situation. And Google Docs gives you a permanent record that compounds over time. None of this requires a paid subscription. None of it requires hours. What it requires is a habit, running this workflow before decisions instead of after them. Don't try all 3 use cases today. Pick one business question you've been sitting on, a competitor you've been curious about, a trend you've been meaning to look into, or a customer frustration you've been meaning to understand better. Open Perplexity. Run one query. Paste the result into Claude. Ask it to apply the findings to your business. That's it. One 15-minute session, just to see what the workflow feels like in practice. The 6 prompts from today are in a free resource linked in the description. Copy them, adapt them to your business, run them today. If you found this useful, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode when it drops. I'll see you there.